Hi, my name is Mario, and in this video I would like to show you how powerful yet simple our Sablono Today app is. This mobile app, which you can download on any Android or iOS device, is meant to provide you with an easy way to collect all the relevant progress updates and quality information from the site directly onto the platform. This will allow you to come back to the office and be ready to already work on the next task at hand, instead of having to transcribe information from one document to another, as it typically happens. The other benefit with working with the mobile app is that you're providing very detailed information to all your colleagues, which are constantly having meetings and making important decisions. As you can see on the screen, from left to right, the Sablono Today app allows you to browse through a set of different task lists, report progress on any of them, and it has a functionality of filling out quality checklists where you can upload as many pictures and comments as needed. To provide some background for people who are only learning about Sablono for the first time through this video, I want to explain the different state that each one of the activities in your project can have, all the way from not started to started. The next stage will be either finished or waiting for confirmation, and this will be based on the activity requiring a hold point or not, meaning does it require the confirmation from a separate team? Once this stage is approved, it will then move on to confirm or reject it. These last two activities are going to be done by the confirmation team. We're going to go more in detail later on the video. Allocating different statuses to each one of the activities, it's what's going to allow continuous cycle information through your project in a way that all the different teams that are part of it can get maximum value out of it. To show you this in a more visual way, I'm going to run through a 30-second video while you get a better idea of it. I'm now taking you to a typical residential project where the subcontractor is going to open the app. They can scan the QR codes that it highlights the activities that they're responsible for. Here they will report any updates in terms of progress, or they can take pictures as needed. Once they submit finish, everyone back in the office has real-time information on the state of the project. In this slide, you're going to see the typical workflow of an activity where the responsible team is reporting the completion of a task, which then requires the approval of a confirmation team, which could be the construction manager, the quality department, or the client. Only when this activity is approved, the next activity becomes available to the next team, and that is highlighted on their app, and they can also be notified via emails. I will now jump into my emulator here. Okay, so what you see on my screen is what you will see on your phone. You can see that I have the Sablono Today app already downloaded, but if you haven't done so yet, you can go ahead and go to your Google Play Store, which you can see here, and download the Sablono Today app. I have downloaded, so it just tells me open in here. So I'm going to click on open, and it will take me right here where I have to log in. I'm going to use the same credentials that I have created on my computer. Great, so I'm logged into the app now, and at the moment I'm part of two different projects. For this exercise, I'm going to go into the new apartment fit out. Once I click on it, it will show me the different areas of the project. This is going to vary based on your unique setup, and in this case I'm going to go into the apartment fit out. For now, I will like to see things happening in building 1. So I clicked on that. You can see on the top left, you can see at the top left the structure area that I'm looking at, and you can see 4 tabs on the top. If we start from the one that is selected right now, so this is upcoming. So these are all the activities that I'm responsible for, and there's planned to happen in the near future. I'm now going to click on late. So these are all the activities that were supposed to be happening in the past. You can see that this is very delayed, in some cases 2 months ago, but you can see some that are fairly recent. So one thing you might be able to pick up just by looking at the screen is that even though we talked about the status of not started, as we can see here in the red circle, some of them are simply the plain red circle and some of them have this available sign on top of it. The difference between those two is that the predecessors for the ones without the sign have not yet been completed, so working on these elements would be considered out of sequence. And the predecessors for this one have been done, so the system is now telling you that you are able to work on these items. Just as an example, I'm gonna click on this one, Dryliner Snack. It will tell me the basic information about the deliverable, apartment 04, the unique IDs, any description, and it will tell me the availability. It says one predecessor of this activity had not been finished yet. The system will also trigger a notification if I were to decide to work on this element by showing a message once I want to report progress on it. So let me click on work started, and it will say not all predecessors of this activity have been finished yet. Have you been given permission by the client to report progress on it? And this question has two purposes. One is, if you're not supposed to be working there, this provides you with a warning that you're not following the predefined sequence of work. Second is, if you have been told to work in that area, then this provides a nice way to document the commencement of your work. Okay, so I'm going to click cancel for now and navigate back to the main page. And for this example, I'm now going to click on an activity that is available. So it follows the typical workflow that you might experience most of the times. I'm going to click, for example, on tape and joint walls and ceilings. And this is what you should see on a typical activity. As we mentioned before, we see that it has the available sign on it, and it says, in this case, all predecessors of this activity have been finished. If I'm the subcontractor, in this case it will be more the dry liner, for example, I will go ahead and come to the flat, make sure that everything's okay. If there's anything obstructing my work, I have the options of clicking on here, work cannot be started, and reporting a note. But in this case, everything seems fine, and I'm going to click on work started. Once I do that, I will see that the checklist pops up for this case. So the reason for this checklist popping out is just to give you an opportunity to report anything that looks outside the ordinary. So I can say, yes, we have done the trade-to-trade handover. The area does seem clean. I'm going to click yes, and you can see that there's a little blue pop-up coming up. This is to provide you a way to add notes. If you say yes, this is an optional. This is optional for you, and you have 3 different categories. You have quality issue, obstruction issue, and information. I'm going to click cancel for now, and I'm going to show you. So let's say I'm going to click this in yes, and I'm going to click OK, works completed, defects and stacks closed. In this case, I'm doing the report, and I'm going to say no. And here I have my 3 options, and I'm going to select let's say quality issue. And I can see that I already have some pre-populated options that I can simply click on it, or I can just say I can write free, so I can write anything here. Oops. Yep. I'm going to click next. In this case, I can assign these to any specific team within the project, and I'm going to assign it actually to our team because this is something we need to come back and sort out. Next is for me to either take a picture or open the gallery. I'm going to click on Open Gallery, and here I have 3 different options. You can select the pictures in there. So this is very useful if you have been going through different floors and you have taken several pictures, and now you're actually compiling the report. You can simply select. You can actually select multiple ones. As you can see, I have 2 pictures in there for the same report, and I will click Save. These are issues. These are just notes that are being uploaded in the system. So I will be able to come back on this report via mobile app or via the web and click on the different notes, see the pictures, view the comments. So where did I write the comment? Right. So I can write anything here. So that's all the comments that I wrote on this item. I'm gonna come back to here and I'm gonna finish writing the report. Or actually, because I'm in the work started version, I don't have to filling out the checklist. I could actually have left it empty and just click on save. Right. So that saved the checklist on the work started. That is actually available now on the web for me to go and review it. So let's say 1 or 2 days pass by and I finish working on this flat. I'm gonna come back and say finish. As you can see, my information from the previous day is already saved in there, and all I need to do is answer the few remaining items. I can click yes, and you can see you're now able to submit this. For submitting, and based on your project, you might be required to add your password, and I click submit. That has now moved this activity, so updated the progress of the activity to finish. And this is what you get when there is no confirmation team. However, what I was trying to do is to show you if there is a QA workflow, meaning if there is a responsible team submitting a checklist that requires an approval, then you should have seen here waiting for confirmation. So I'm going to search for an activity with that state. So I'm going to go back to the page, to the main page. And what I'll do is go, for example, to the late tab. It's actually already here, but let me show you what I did. So we have this filter button on the top right, and it seems like it's activated right now. So I'm gonna click just show all. It's gonna show me every single activity that it's behind schedule, but what I can do, basically what I'm searching for is an activity that's waiting for confirmation. So from this list, I can filter, I can narrow it down by show only waiting for confirmation. So these are all the activities that me as the responsible team have notified the, let's say, the the main contractor that it has been finished, and indeed it requires a confirmation. So once I click on that, it tells me, and you can see the 2 gray ticks in here, and it has the available sign. I have reported this activity as finished, so I can click on the activity and it shows me yes, this activity is marked as finished. Still shows on my mobile app because I have some open issues that I've been marked as responsible for fixing them, so that's why I see it on my phone. So what I'm gonna do now is switch my account to see this from the construction side. Okay, so I have just switched to the construction manager role, and yes, you're gonna see a lot more activities that need my confirmation now. And I'm now looking for one that has an obstruction reported, so I can see the little icon in there. So that tells me that there's something in that apartment. So once I click, you will also see a difference from the version that we're looking at just now. In this case, you just see the review QA checklist action, and in the previous version from the responsible team, or let's say subcontractor, you will see 3 buttons in there, one for not started, another one for work started, and the last one for finish or waiting for confirmation. And in this case, yes, this activity was put to waiting for confirmation, and we'll go ahead and review it. So what you see now is the checklist that was filled out by the subcontractor, and you can actually see their answers in here. So for this one line item, shop drawing approved, and you can see that the trade answered yes. You can see all their answers in here, and you can actually see that they reported a no and they raised an issue here. So we can check the information simply by clicking on that, and it takes me here. I can see the text for the one item that reported. I can see the pictures. I can click on the pictures. So I think this is very valuable. You're working based on the same information without having to pass around the sheets of paper. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna click back in here. So as the construction manager, I can click yes in here. For this one line items that are in black, I can leave it as not checked, but for the items that are in red, and you're gonna see the difference here, I am required to say either yes or no. So for this exercise, I will say yes, and that is when this confirm button becomes available to me. So after doing the inspection, you have two options to either reject in a way that it goes back to the team that performed the work via notifications, via their app, or you can go ahead and confirm it. For now, I'm going to confirm this activity. So I'll go here and I will fill out my password. And just since I'm doing this, be aware that this is a setting from your project. So you, depending on, on the overall settings of your project, you might not have to do this. This is optional. Right, so I'm going to click submit. So this activity now has been approved. Obviously, there might be some items that need to be taken care of at a later stage, but for now, the construction manager decided to approve this. You can still go back and see that the information is there, and you can actually go to the website. So if I head to the dashboard page, you can see that Mario Sampson just a few minutes ago reported something. And if I go to this checklist, to this checklist, I will be able to go into here and write. So on the QA checklist tab for this apartment, I have the information and I can click on the print icon. So it generates a PDF export out of it, and I can have it immediately preparing here, where I can see the answers again from both teams, from the responsible team and from the confirmation team. I can see both sets of answers, and here I can see the things that I have not checked. I can see the pictures and I can see the notes that go with it. Right, so I think this covers everything in terms of how to use the Today app, the PDF exports that you can get out of it. So we have many more tutorials that will help you understand the concept of Sablono and how to work in a very collaborative manner with your team. So feel free to visit our tutorial page and ask any questions in our chat. So you can find the information right here and ask any questions you might have. All right, thank you very much and have a good day.